I'm Nate G219, and this is to help it back and better. Y'all know what it is. Another one coming at y'all. First, hit that like and subscribe. Hit that channel if y'all want to help out. Today is April 17th, about 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning. And maybe just after 5, nothing relevant though. Been trying to record this damn video for a couple weeks, but I got a new phone and I've been having to change formats. And if anybody can help, I use the Vlogstar app, and I've got an iPhone 16 Pro Max. And every time I go to export the video, if any other creator sees or has this issue and has been able to fix it, when I export the video, it'll say export failed. Now, if you see this video, then I've succeeded, and I'm hoping you do. But I'm gonna tell you about a jail story. So this is actually the last time I had been in jail, and I want to say it was 2017. And I got to jail like everybody else. You go into a sally port. When you go into the sally port, you go into this doorway, and when you walk in, to the right and to the left, to the left, there's like a weird like holding cell. I'm not really sure what it's for. On the right is a drunk tank, bullpen. Oh, the left side holding cell is primarily for women. That's what it is, because the glass is all fogged. So across, you got the drunk tank, bullpen. Everybody ends up in there if it's crowded, especially. And then I believe you've got another bullpen, and then you've got holding cells on the right, attorney visits on the left. You got where the cops are, where they do all the computer stuff, where they take your fingerprints. This is where you're going to be photoed at and everything. And if you look back, then you got on the back part of the wall, you can tell there's a hallway to the right and to the left, okay? And it's all holding cells. And on the outside of the cells, you'll see magnets with people's names on it. Well, I seen one said Bailey. Now, Bailey was a character. Bailey would, everybody that walked in, he was talking shit to, threatening, I'm gonna whoop your ass, And it got to the point, people were mad. Like, he couldn't go nowhere. He had to spend a year and a half at most in jail. He spent a year and a half. It was for stealing something from Walmart. What brings us up, I saw him, I'm pretty sure I saw this Weasel, Sid the Sloth combination look, mixed guy. You'll see him in the mugshot. Joe Dirt with no, Dirty with no mullet. Anyway, he's just a weasel. He was self-proclaimed Crip at that, from south of North Carolina. I'm not saying anything bad about that, but being a former active gang member from a prominently black gang, this guy wasn't cut like anything. He was cut like soft cotton, if anything. I mean, his threads would unravel with one little pull, you know. So everybody he would just be squawking at. So I'm gonna come back to him, because I'm gonna tell you a little bit about what happened. I ended up in holding for a few days, and I was one of the people he was talking shit to. I wasn't talking much back. This dude's in his holding cell was a padded cell, and he always had to wear a suicide smock, because I'm going to take my own life, because he couldn't go nowhere. Everybody was going to beat him up, and rightfully so. So he spent 17 of his 18 months in that boom room, and in that padded cell where you have to poop in a hole in the floor. It's disgusting. You have to defecate on the floor, in the floor. There's a hole, and you can't just go hit a button to flush it. They got to do it, and they do it when they want to do it. Flushes every so often. Anyways, that piece of crap stayed in the padded cell. And I mean, Anytime you go to court, there he is, screaming, yelling. He was just a little white trash piece of crap. So, a few months later, actually July to be exact, I end up going to the hole along with like 12 of the guys I was doing time with in our cell block. We were all getting tattooed. A certain guy came in. He was good at pick and poke tattoos, so the jail knew that guy come in, everybody's gonna get tattooed, and of course we did. So we get busted, go down to the hole. We're in the hole for 3 days, no big deal. And my first hour out. So the cell next to me, I don't remember exactly who was in that. I was in the last cell. There was 9 cells, and I was in the last one. So next to me was somebody else that was in the hole prior to us getting there, and the cell prior to that was actually 3 of my buddies. There was me and one of my buddies, 2 guys I didn't know, and then 3 of my buddies and a lot more of my buddies. So I walked up to their cell and I put my hand on the window. It's got a tall, skinny window. Man, I shattered the window. I had a tungsten ring on. I didn't know at that time that tungsten shatters glass, and boy does it. Boy does it shatter glass. So after denying it, hold on, time out, guys. Time in. But denying it like crazy, they ended up saying, like, they figured out it was me by a bunch of reviewing of the camera. And the only reason they could tell is because I stepped back a little bit. Had I just acted like nothing had happened, they would have never known. But my buddies would have probably gotten in trouble. And had to pay a little bit of money, and I was in the hole for 10 days. Well, so that cell couldn't be used. And remember the cell I said next to me that had the 2 guys I didn't know? That cell ended up getting emptied out a couple days after everybody for the tattoos got out of the hole. Because remember, they got out after 3 days. I was there for 10. So I was the only one left back in the hole. And next to me is an open cell. Well, I hear them bringing somebody else in. And what do you know? It's TJ Bailey. I said, son of a bitch. But I didn't think at all that they were going to put him in my cell. They know, the jail knew who I was, and that I was likely going to put my hands on him and hurt him had he come in my cell. I wasn't going to do it just to do it, but damn it, I wanted to. Badly. But of course, here he comes. They put him in my cell. They skip an open cell to put him in my cell. Here we go. So we talked for a little while. He apologized. I really didn't give a shit. I didn't look at him like he was a benefit to my life in any way, shape, or form. So we talked for a little bit, but about 24 hours maybe. So the rule was you couldn't get an hour out on the weekends because there was not enough staff. They were short-staffed, or whatever the reason actually was. I don't know. You couldn't get your hour out, so you couldn't get a shower. Well, this man wanted a shower. So he's like, man, he kept telling me, I'm going to get a shower. I'm going to get a shower. Well, I'm like, I'll see how you're going to do that. And he's like, man, I'll piss my own pants if I have to. I said, listen, bro. I said, I told you when you came in here, there's not going to be any of this acting like a damn child bullshit. I said, if you piss your own pants, I'm gonna beat the brakes off you. He kind of laughed it off. I said, I'm not playing. Well, one thing he kept on doing is hitting this button. It's called the panic button. It gets the attention of the guards in the booth. It irritates them when it's used unnecessarily, for one. I mean, they can't stand it. 2, it's a no-no for a convict to touch that button. I tell him, stop hitting that button, bro. Guards are getting pissed off. I don't want to be dealing with the guards. He didn't give a damn. He's like, I want a shower. I want a shower. I'm like, bro, it's a wrap. I'm like, you ain't gonna get a shower. Well, I heard it, man. It sounded like somebody was pouring water on the floor. And I looked at him, and he's got this little smirk on his face like a child does when they're taking a dookie in their diaper, like that little smirk or push. I mean, but I heard the urine hitting the ground. I was so mad. I jumped off that bunk, and before I knew it, I'd probably hit him 12, 13 times. He was laying in the corner, kind of folded over, kicked him in the gut one more time. He said, bitch. Walked around for a couple seconds. I hit the button. I said, yo, y'all got to come get Bailey out of here. Mr. White, what's wrong? I said, he pissed in the floor and then slipped and fell in it. Are you serious? I said, please just come get this man out of the cell. Now, I forgot to tell you, when they put him in the cell, they knew what they were doing. They knew who I was. And the lieutenant, who I won't name, kind of gave me a smile when he had put him in my cell. So they took him out of my cell. And then that's the last I ever heard of that situation. Nobody said a damn word. Nothing. No write-up, no nothing. Bailey wasn't very happy. I'd seen him like 3 or 4 days later. I'd finally got out of the hole. I had to go down up front for court or something like that. I don't remember exactly what the occurrence was, but I was in the front of the jail, and there he was sitting in the cell. 2 black eyes. I mean, I'd busted him up pretty good. I mean, kid was like 5'6". Like, it wasn't a hard, but I was so mad. Like, who the hell's going to piss themselves? But I'm going to go back to the beginning when I had first encountered this white trash piece of shit. This was funny. So there was some corporal. I don't remember the guy's name, but he was man. This guard was a super trooper douche. He wanted to be a super cop, and he was gonna take Bailey out for the shower or whatever he was taking Bailey out for. And all you start hearing is this commotion, this yelling. So naturally, jail being such a boring place, you get off your bunk, you go look out the window. The little tall skinny window, yeah, they're in the holding cells. They're in every single damn door in this jail. And we're looking at it, and they got Bailey, his door open, and he come. All I see is this guard sprint, running away from Bailey. Bailey's an inmate. Now, convicts and inmates are completely different people. Like, he can do county jail time. But this man had poop in his hand. He pooped in his hand. And he was chasing this guard. And he chased this guard for about 15 minutes. And it stunk, but damn, was that funny. Oh my God, was that funny. Guard running, screaming, no, please, no. Finally, they ended up macing him. And it de-escalated the situation, but for a good 10 minutes, I got to watch a cop get run around with TJ Bailey chasing him with a handful of poop. Disgusting little white trash. And he was asshole naked. He didn't even have his suicide smock on. That was a problem that they had with him. Like, people would walk in, especially women, and he's the first person you'd see. And that's because they had to watch him at all times because they didn't know what the hell he was going to do. And he would sit there and have himself exposed and doing things to himself in front of the girls, in front of the guard. He didn't give a damn. Little wild little idiot. But I think I'd seen him walking the other day across the Walmart parking lot. Probably lives behind there or something. He's a rodent. I mean, he's an absolute rodent. But hey guys, never forget life's choices. Hopefully this video works. But never forget life's choices. You may run into a TJ Bailey at any given time. But hey, hit that like, hit that subscribe, hit that channel if you want to help out. And always remember, if they ain't hating it, you ain't making it. Peace.